Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome along to FEI TV. Welcome here to leg 3 of the Western European League for the 2024-2025 FEI Dressage World Cup. Welcome to Stuttgart and to the Hans-Martin Scheele Hall. We've already seen two quite brilliant and breathtaking performances from some of the world's best over the legs in Herning and, of course, just recently in Lyon. And very excited to see this one unfold here in Germany. This amazing city with so much history and, of course, culture, and it brings together the very best of the German athletes alongside those from across Europe and beyond. It always gives us some spectacular sport. We've seen some tremendous wins from the likes of Isabel and Ingrid over the years, and of course that lady, well, she's here again today after a very successful summer. Looking forward to it every single stride of the way. And of course, all our strides throughout the course of the Western European League will take us to Basel in Switzerland in April. And most importantly, from a perspective of here in Stuttgart, we look to tomorrow and tomorrow evening for the freestyle competition, because that is when the points will be given out. Today, the focus, as ever, is the Grand Prix test, and our judges down there getting themselves ready. Delighted to see a illustrious panel. At E, Eric Nivelle from Germany. At H is Monica Peritz-Servedka from the Netherlands. At C, the president for the class is Hans Christian Madison from Denmark. At M is Magnus Ringmark from Sweden. And at B is Henning Lehmann for Germany. So with the judges in place, we will not be too far away from starting things off. Total of 17 to come down the centre line here this morning. And looking forward to how this one unfolds. Some really exciting combinations to keep an eye out for. In fact, let's have a little look at that start list. As you can see, Maurice van Balen will start things off on the wonderful Habibi DVB N.O.P, strong contingent from the Netherlands, with Lisbeth Gjeven following up on Largo, with Spain's Borocas Corver, Isabel Kuhl, Bettina Kemblaka, Anna Zebraston, and Delia Eggenberger. And then look at the back end of this class with Devender Diskov there, with the Dutch rider Hero. But it is the league leader at the moment, Corina Schultz. Tarantino sits on top of the league. Isabel Werth, the world number one. Wendy, she's brought her Olympic ride. Wendy de Fontaine from the silver in the summer and the team gold. Ingrid Klimke, first class. Bianca's here, and Raphael Netz is already having some great tests this year as well, with great Escape Camelot. Will be involved, and of course all vying to get through ultimately to that freestyle here tomorrow. So this is the Stuttgart German Masters. It brings together all three of the FEI World Cup disciplines. We start with the dressage, we'll have driving, we'll have jumping. It is a trifecta, and looking forward to each and every moment that it gives us. And what a morning to start on this fabulous Friday with the Grand Prix test. So this is the qualifier, of course, for the freestyle. And looking forward to this one here this morning. As I say, we've seen some tremendous performances already this season. Corina Schultz may well lead the league table of the Western European League. But if you go back to leg one, Catherine Loderup Dufour and Mount St John freestyle coming out on top in that freestyle. And then, of course, last time, Isabel and DSP Quantaz won in Lyon. Well, the focus now is Stuttgart, and to start things off this morning, the first of the combinations is Maurice van Balen riding here with Habibi DVB N.O.N. Sorry, N.O.N? N.O.P, my apologies. The 12-year-old by Bluehorse d'Anchufro, Oliver Johnson T.N. Mare. Part of the Nations Cup team in the summer in Rotterdam. Last season had that tremendous second place in the World Cup round in Belgium, in Mechelen, where they finished second in the freestyle, but also putting in some strong performances alongside that in Amsterdam. They were part of the European Championship team, qualifying all the way through to the freestyle in Riesenbeck last season as well at the Europeans. And to start things off today, this then is Habibi DVB N.O.P. and Marlies van Balen for the Netherlands. Very strong start. Perhaps could do just a little bit more impulsion through those half passes in both the extended trot and again in these half passes, just maybe allow the horse to be a little bit more fluid. Perhaps wanting a little bit more coming from that drive behind in the extended trot. Extended walk certainly needed to be a little bit clearer, certainly more through the body. Allow for a little bit more over track. Again, could have been a little bit clearer in the collected walk, as they now maybe just need to be a little bit more direct into that passage. It is such a difficult transition. That was a little bit unfortunate with, of course, the transition there going slightly wrong. Tension just beginning to creep in, not leaving for the clearest of transition marks. Just a small mistake at the beginning of the one-time tempi changes. That first change not really coming through. Just again with that change at the start of the pirouette, and those mistakes proving really costly in terms of their score. And with the mistake at X, so tension that's just crept in on this early morning for the very first to go. Combination that comfortably scores 70 to 73%. Really, 73% is their Grand Prix sort of average. You can see how those errors this morning in the transitions and at the start of the changes have really dragged that score. Saving their best Piaf and Passages, though, for this final centre line to get a nice finish to this test and a lovely halt as well. So, Marius van Baalen starts things off with Habibi DVB N.O.P for the Netherlands. There'll be moments that she will have loved, but there are moments that she will have wished didn't occur. And of course, in a test like this, it is those moments that really do have an impact on your score. Well, that score will be through in a moment. It is the mistakes, sadly, that will count against her, because there was some wonderful riding there, and it is a really nice combination. But it was the canter problems. Oh, hello. We've still got some canter left in us. So here we go. I think everyone's looking for a score at E68,587, 868,913, C66,525, or 522, at M69,891, B69,348, and there you have it, 68.652% to start the morning off for Marius van Baalen there for the Netherlands. So that was Habibi DVB N.O.P setting the standard here this morning. We have a little look back at some of the replays. A horse with lovely paces. It looked in a few places like the tension began to creep in there. Just to watch the double beat behind in the Piaf. I should say the Passage, but that improved as the test went on. We move on, because the next to go is ready, and this is Lisbeth Given riding Iago, the 11-year-old Dutch stallion by Dream Boy out of a Jazz mare. Another chance for the Netherlands now. Of course, the sire of this horse, Dream Boy, goes back to the wonderful Vivaldi. Competed recently in Rolleclore, where they finished third in the freestyle. Quite a big year in terms of pushing on, climbing their way through the sport. Now making their debut on the Western European League here in Stuttgart. Big moment for the both of them. Just needs to make sure they have enough engagement and just watch that little bit of running. Although nicely done through the first of the half passes. Just maybe wants to get a little bit more forward. Keep that, let's say, engagement. Lacking a little bit of impulsion. Just resisting a little bit. Just not quite as smooth as they would have liked to see. It wasn't quite the most standing of halts. Again, in the Piaffe and the Dressage, just like to see a little bit more engagement, a little bit more energy being brought from behind. Nice enough through the extended walk, just wants to be a little bit steadier with the contact. Ideal. A bit of tension in that collected walk. See that through the transition. I was doing my best to count, but I think there were a couple too many in there. The flying changes. I think there's a lot of potential to come from this combination as they just continue to strengthen and develop. Again, very solid down the final centre line, keeping everything very neat and very tidy. With the exception of perhaps adding a couple of changes in the one-time changes. I mean, that test was written very correctly. I mean, there's going to be more to come from them as I say, they go forward. It just needs, in a lot of respects, a little bit more activity, a little bit more impulsion. There's your scores at E65, 652, at H65, 543, at C, 67,935, at M, 68,478, and at B, 67,065, at a total of 66,935. As I say, really nice combination, and the more they take a bit of risk, the more pushing power, I think, and carrying power that is developed, then the more the score will rise. There's a huge amount of potential there, and great to see them because, of course, as I said, that horse making his debut in terms of performances on the Western European League here today. So congratulations. We move to Spain, to Borcascosa, riding Frizzantino FRH. Of course, he rode at the World Cup finals in Riyadh this year with Herbert NRW to finish in 10th place. He also rode Frizzantino FRH at the Olympic Games in Paris, competing in that Grand Prix test. That's been a big part of Spanish dressage, this ride. Just getting ready. A stallion, 9 years of age, by Finest, out of a quarterback mare. .70.823 in Paris. In that Grand Prix test. He's been developing and producing through those young horse categories, and despite having competed in the Olympic Games, it's actually the first time this horse has gone down the centre line at a World Cup event. Competed in the Nations Cup events in the summer. Lovely straight trot, really looked nice. A wonderful average in terms of his scores today. Stay nice and relaxed. Let's transition through into the canter. That little change, although recovered well, the flying change, but just needed to keep a little bit more control at the beginning. Some mistakes again, just creeping into the flying changes. Huge amount to enjoy from this young horse that will only get better. Very exciting combination for the sport, for Spain, for Coolhorses and Frizzantino FRH. Really is a charming horse that has got a lot of presence and got a lot of energy. Mistakes today are the things that, of course, always in this sport count against you, but I still feel has delivered plenty of promise with that score. It certainly puts them in control for the moment. 69.022, 69.348, 68.261, 69.239 and 71.848 to get to 69.544. on we go to the next. As we watch on, we also get ready, because it'll be the turn of Belgium's Isabelle Cool, been our rider for this horse, Herr Charmeur. Coolhorses, the 11-year-old, is gelding by Charmeur out of an Ablesto mare. The horse called Aranco that took her to the World Cup and Europeans in the past. These two last performing in Aachen this year. But it perhaps not been the easiest start to this test. It's gradually got better and better. To this final centre line. On the door of a personal best at Grand Prix. Just about 0.5% shy, but that could change with a strong end. Just lost the activity a little bit in that final passage with that tension at the halt as well. It will have counted against them, and I think that's enough to just push them beyond their combination best score previously of 68.5 to 6.5. We will wait to find out in a moment. It'll be ever so close, but I'm sure we will see. Again, a very willing horse that was really looking to try and work with its rider, and I think as that collection contact improves, a little bit of tension just helping get rid of that tension will help them in the future. E66.413 at age 70, at C68.152, at M69.130, and at B67.5 to go into third, 68.239%. Still very early stages, still a long way to go. But Bora Carcosa leads with Frizzantino FRH with the official score of 69.544%. We're going to enjoy today as we move on now to Austria. Bettina Kendelbacher riding here with Broadmoor's Don Alfredo Awo, or AWO. 11-year-old gelding by Destano. This is out of His Highness mare. Pre-tests have been getting in at around that 68-69% mark. Certainly a faultless start. Just needs to ensure they don't let things hurry a little bit too much, but just keep that uphill nature. I do love the cute little way that the horse just looked at the judges then. See, just out the corner of his eye. It's a little bit hurried in the extended trot. Perhaps needed a little bit more over track in the extended walk. Maybe just a little bit more collection in the collected walk. Not quite direct enough with the transition. Just losing the rhythm in that piaffe will have cost them in terms of their score. I'd like to see just a little bit more ground cover in that extended canter. Needed a little bit more airtime, a little bit more power and jump. Keep that activity through the pirouette. Watch your straightness in the change. Just again, need to keep that jump through the pirouette a little bit more active. Good collected drop. Again, just getting a little hurried through the extended. Very, very well done. Bettina and Brood Moors Don Alfredo for Austria. Interesting to see how that final score ultimately comes together from our panel of judges. Another horse making its first appearance on the Western European League. A really, really nice horse as well. It's got a lot of activity. Nice combination. Here's your scores at E69.348, at H65.326, at C67.826, and at M68.696, B69.891. Your total, 68.217%. So that goes into fourth place. A little bit hurried in those extended movements, isn't they? Combination though, really elegant. Just wants to watch the rhythm in those piafs. Just needed a little bit more lift, a little bit more jump through those pirouettes. Well, there's a bell, so there's another to go, and it is now the turn of Denmark's Anna Zebrasten riding Quel Filou. Anna, who's had a hugely successful career riding at European Championships, including being part of the silver medal winning team for the Danes back in 2017, and bronze medal winning team as well in when, well, that would have been in her youth. Today, Quel Filou competed in Herning. It's gelding by quarterback out of a Stedinger mare, now 13. In Herning, the opening leg of this season, scoring 70.543 in the Grand Prix that day. We saw them at Aachen as well in the 5-star this year. That's a shame. Tension creeping in early to the test, and such a difficult moment for a rider just to overcome, just to be able to keep the focus and calm the horse all at the same time. Wanted to be a little bit more even behind, just losing that regularity in the passage. Nice extended walk. Just again, you can see that tension still sat there. Just works against the rhythm and the balance in the piaffe. A little bit short behind through that change. Swaying a little bit through the changes. Keep that activity through the pirouette. Looking much better to the right, actually. Again, just swaying a little bit through the piaffe. Wants to just stay a little bit more engaged in the piaffe and the passage. Just losing that rhythm slightly at the end will have cost them, but nice halt and nice finish. Alice Braston with Quel Filou for Denmark. Plenty of people here this morning making their way in bright and early to the Hans Martin Schäler Hall to enjoy this. Certainly a horse with some wonderful paces. There's your scores: E64130, H64891, C64891, 66413 from M, and 67283 from B. So 65.522 is the final score. Just a few mistakes. Technical issues today, I think, is a better way to put it. It is a lovely combination. And the horse certainly has the paces. She'll know it herself. You know, that moment at the start everything from there worked against her, really. And I think with that tension just built in from the beginning of the test, will have just made everything twice as difficult as it will have needed to be. Well, there's the bell for our next to go. Fairtrade for Switzerland. This is Delia Eggenberger. Riding then in, I believe, is her first World Cup test, her World Cup round. Of course, she's competed at championships with this horse. In fact, she rode at the Europeans in 2023 and prior to that at the World Championships the year before in Herning. This 14-year-old Westphalian gelding by Feeder Step out of a Santino mare. It's competed, though, not only in championship tests but also in Nations Cup tests. Maybe needed to keep the contact a little bit steadier through the halt and the rein back. And just open the frame up a little bit more through that extended trot. Nice transition. To be a little bit more clear and even in those passage and piaffe moments. It's a shame for the little mistake in the 15 changes. Those one-time changes. Just wants to take a little bit more weight through the pirouettes. Lovely paces though in the trot. Tiniest of step backs, of course, at the end, but well done, Delia, and to Fairtrade. She can be very pleased with parts of that test. It was just that one moment, really, wasn't there at the start of the changes. And as much of an effect that has on the mark, I think there was plenty from that combination. Again, I mean, the harmony I actually think was really nice, and the energy was good. It's a combination that really know each other well and suit each other well. So congratulations there to Delia Egerberger and Fairtrade. Always things to look to improve. We'll see what the judges have given them in a moment. We've seen those trending marks. At E68.152 at H67.283, C65.870, M65.217 at B68.152. So there's your percentage total of 66.935, and that will go into fifth. The PF just a little bit too forward.
So battle for Herr to constant FEI Dressage World Cup or Escape Camelot in Stuttgart.
There'll be plenty more to come, as is always the case in this sport from them. At the moment, though, this Grand Prix test is led by Bora Kosa for Mariels van Balen and Isabel Kool. Well, let's move on, because now we get to the first of Germany's riders here at the Stuttgart German Masters. Fabian Müller-Lüttgemeier riding the 13-year-old gelding Valesco. Fabian, who was part of the gold medal winning team at the World Equestrian Games back in 2014 on the wonderful De Agostino FRH, a super horse that took her to numerous championships, including European gold as well. Brought her through that sort of young rider crest of her career, where she won multiple medals as a youth rider. Now with this lovely Valesco, as I say, 13 years of age, this by Vitalas, gelding out of a dossier mare. Combination rode in the previous leg this season already in Lyon. That day in the Grand Prix, they got very close to 70% in the Grand Prix. They were on 69.826, and they ended up in the top 10 in both the Grand Prix and in the freestyle test as well. Need to be careful they don't get a little bit too quick through the half passes. perhaps just travelling a little bit there in the Piaffe. Judges perhaps just looking for a little bit more over track in the extended walk and maybe a slightly clearer rhythm in that collected walk. That last change not perhaps as clear as it needed to be. Tension at the end of the line, just wanting the frame again just to open up a little bit more through the tempi changes. Still keep that bend as well through the pirouettes. Just lost the rhythm a little bit towards the end, losing that rhythm behind in the passage, but that again, test that was filled with some moments of quality. Just a couple of little moments that will work against them in terms of their scores, but Looked to be a very solid performance from Fabien Muller and Valesco. Whether it can repeat the score from Lyon just 2 weeks ago, we will see. But I certainly think she's shown a level of consistency that should get her at least very, very close to it. And in fact, let's have a little look. It is very, very close to it. It is at E 70.109, at H 68.043, at C 68.152, at M 67.065, and at B 69.565. It's a total of 68.587, and puts Fabien Muller and Valesco 50 up into third place. Some really nice riding in there. Just, as I say, just the odd little moment. But there were some really good moments. Just become just a little bit lighter. Work on that lightness in the contact. Well, we stay with Germany for the next to go, because to take us up to the break, great to see this lady here, Helen Langenberg, who has been such a huge part of the success of Germany over the years, with multiple medals in multiple teams, multiple championships. We all remember the wonderful Damon Hill NRW that, of course, took her to gold medals in teams at World and European Championships alongside individual silvers. Well, today riding here with Facilone FRH. A 12-year-old by First and Ball out of a Dinero mare. Very, very strong summer, including the win in the Grand Prix with this ride in Falsterbo. Part of that Nations Cup team. Also won the special there. The Grand Prix scores have been regularly around that 72 to 73% mark that she's already starting at. You can already see a step change in confidence. Nice through the extended trot, just maybe a little bit hurried in places. Piaf just a little uneven. To be a bit more direct through those transitions as well in the Passage Piaf Passage. Again, perhaps just a little bit uneven in the Piaf. Just again, not direct enough through those transitions. A very impressive test. Showing the level of consistency. Elegant horse. Helen Lennon Hannenberg with the best that we've seen so far today. Facilone FRH. Full of quality as we see those two come to their conclusion. I will wait to the score, but it really was a elegant partnership. Maybe at points today just needed to be a little bit more collected at times, and that regularity in the Piaffe will be maybe the part that will have counted against them. Very well ridden test. Very, very well ridden test. Certainly one that started strong. 70.978 at E, 68.152 at H, 69.674 at C, 70.109 at M, and 69.891 at B. There is your leader going into the break, 69.761%. Congratulations there to Helen Lennon Hannenberg and Facilone FRH. So they lead for Germany ahead of Borokasakova. Beautiful hole, lovely rain back. It was just that unevenness and the transitions from the Passage to the Piaffe that will have counted against their score here today. We have a long way still to go. We may well have reached the halfway mark, but we still have plenty of talent left in the draw. But that is the leaderboard as it stands here in the Grand Prix. Helen Lennon Hannenberg, Facilone FRH, 69.761, leads from Bora Caracossa and Frizzantino FRH, a beautiful 9-year-old for Spain, and Marlies Van Balen and Habibi DVB N.O.P, the first to go this morning, 68.652. Awfully tight, but nobody quite yet has gone through the 70% mark. But with a tremendous lineup still to come, we still have another 8 more to enjoy when we come back with the second half of this FEI Grand Prix test. So here's the order as it stands as we get set to restart in a moment or so. Helen Lunn and Hannenberg leading the way with Falcone FRH. But as we said, there is some rather strong combinations left in the draw. Perhaps none more so than the world number one, Isabelle Wurf and Wendy de Fontaine. But with the likes of Ingrid, Bianca and many more, looking forward to seeing them all make their start in a moment or so. It's certainly going to be a fascinating competition. Our judges back in place at E Nivel, at H Monica Putzverka, the president for the class, Hans Christian Madison at C, at M Magnus Ringmark, and at B Herning Lierman. Well, to restart things, Justina Vagarit Samuel and Nabab for Lithuania. There's the bell, that's what we were waiting for. Rider with plenty of experience. Of course, rode this horse in Paris this year, qualified as well, and went to Riyadh to the World Cup finals back in April. It's ridden at Europeans, World Championships, and also competed at the World Cup final in Omaha back in 2023. This has been a fabulous ride for her. Now 11 years of age, by Sir Donovan, out of a crack C mare. Solid start. A little bit more self-carriage through those half passes. And you just maybe wanted to see a little bit more risk through the extended movements. Bring that power from behind, even in the passage. And just a little bit more of a clearer rhythm through the piaffe. few mistakes creeping in to the two-time changes. Again, it's the line of changes that works so sadly against them with those mistakes behind coming at the start of that line. Losing the rhythm a little bit there through the piaffe. Well done, Justin. If you were to ignore the changes, that was a really nice test. There was a lot there. It got stronger and stronger as it went on. I mean, piaffe at the beginning there was a little bit of tension, I think, overall at the beginning. And once that settled down, it just, as I say, apart from the changes, it really flowed. And it's going to have cost them in terms of their scores. We know that. But there's a lovely horse and rider there. It's a pity for the mistakes. Otherwise, it could have been even better. 66,630, 67,283, 66,196, 66,196. Exactly the same score. 68,043. Puts them into the top 10 for the moment. 66,870 for Justina Vanagate, as Samueli and Nabab. I think if they could have improved the changes today, it would have been a couple of percentage points higher than that. But it's overall, as I say, really wonderful picture that the combination have. It's very correct.
Einmal die Videoodds kennen ja Nachfolgerversion in der FRH 4 mit 69,7761, gefolgt von der Tageskurszeit für Frizzantino FRH.
Well, we move our attention in a moment now to the Netherlands and Wendy de 28-year-old Dutch rider here with Hero. Of course, this is a horse that has brought her through the youth ranks and those under 25 ranks, and of course she was very successful at, and then into the senior team for the European Championships in the Risenbeck in 2023 last year. This 12-year-old gelding by Johnson TN is out of a U7 mare. Competed in Lyon. This is their second outing of this season. Their Grand Prix test in Lyon, though, 67.5. Certainly wasn't the best Grand Prix test that they've brought to bear. Being able to regularly sort of get scores 68, 69. These two certainly had a busy run last year on the World Cup circuit. We saw them in Herning, London, Basel, Amsterdam and Sertogenbosch. Keep the bend clear and supple through the half passes. A bit of tension in the Piaffe. Slightly travelling. Passage. Just need to be careful. The horse just crossing a little bit behind. Just needed to keep the Piaffe a little bit more on the spot. It was just moving forward slightly and not the most direct of transitions out into the passage. keep that activity in the canter. This maybe could have been, again, you want to see a little bit more fluency and forward tendency in those changes. Oh, that's a shame. The rhythm completely going. It is such a fine balance. And that is, I mean, they were tracking up in third place on that trending mark. And then suddenly, in the blink of an eye on the centre line with that stop in the Piaffe, it all changes. But that is the fine line in sport. Unfortunately, today she'd kept herself on the correct side of it, and then suddenly it just went wrong at the end. Really, I mean, because there were some lovely moments in that test. Certainly had a level of consistency throughout. So, elegant combination again, but 67.065 at E, 67.065 at H, C 67.391 at M, 68.152 and at B 68.587. Total is in the end 67.652, which sadly from their perspective now puts them in 7th place. Whereas I feel they probably would have been much closer to the top 3 without that little problem that came right at the end. Nevertheless, in a moment we will move on. It is now still Germany, Spain and the Netherlands in the 1, 2, 3. In fact, there's only one rider left to go in this. What have we got now? 6 left to go. And there's only one of them not riding for Germany, because that'll be when we get to Belgium's Larissa Polilis. But right now we have Karina Schultz riding Tarantino. Karina, who so far this season has found her way at the top of the Western European League. A long way to go on the road to Basel in April, but at the moment it is her that is leading the way. She rode Tarantino, who she rides today in Herning. Finished in 6th place there in the freestyle. 17-year-old now gelding by Toronto. She was 2nd in the Grand Prix in Falsterbo this year, where she was also on the Winning Nations Cup team. Very capable of scoring over 71% in a Grand Prix test. Tarantino. Very correct in the half passes, but again, I think you need a little bit more impulsion, a little bit more forward movement. Needs to keep that activity and rhythm. Maybe a little bit more activity in the piaffe. So consistent. Maybe just wanted a little bit more risk, a little bit more ground cover taken in that extended canter. And changed just a little flat at the end. But these are small things. Setting up for the pirouette. Very smooth. Just watch the balance coming out. Lovely passage. Good piaffe. Nice transitions as well. Again, really bringing the best of the passage in that final centre line. Surely going into the lead with that test. Karina Schultz and Tarantino 5. What a beautiful partnership they make together. The combination, the rider that leads the Western European League as we start out here for the third leg of the season in Stuttgart. We'll certainly be seeing them in that freestyle tomorrow. Lovely picture that those two create together as well, isn't it? Very, very well ridden by Karina. She's got a very nice way of riding. Well, there's your scores. 70.9, sorry, start that again. 70.978, 70.761, 71.087, 70.543, and 73.478. So it is a new leading score because it is 71.369%, giving Germany first and second currently. Karina Schultz there, Tarantino going into first place ahead of Helen Lannenhannenberg and Facilone. Bora Carcosa now in third. Young fan brought breakfast with him. Sensible. It started early this morning. Freestyle itself coming tomorrow evening here in Stuttgart. Another that is for Germany, Raphael Nietz coming to join us now, riding Great Escape Camelot. Of course, took this ride to fifth in the World Cup final in Riyadh this year. Another that starred when he was coming through the youth ranks of the sport. Now has made that transition very successfully into the senior ranks as well. 13-year-old Dutch Gelding by Johnson TN out of a Turbo Magic mare. Competed in Herning to finish in the top 10 in the freestyle, although they actually were fourth in the Grand Prix, 73.369%. Was a very impressive score. But again, this is a combination that have been able to score 72 plus in Grand Prix tests on a regular basis. Very nice through the half passes. Maybe wants a little bit more bend. Well, after an excellent halt and rein back, I think a bit hurried and needing a little bit more ground cover in the extended. Keep those hind legs underneath in the passage. Just travelling a little bit through the piaffe. Going to have a little bit more purpose in the extended walk. Shame they lost a little bit of the activity in the passage. They're knocking on the door. Their personal best, 73.369 in a Grand Prix test. Wanted to be a little bit straighter, a little bit of tension there in those one-time changes. Again, needing the horse just to sort of sit a little bit more, allow for that lift and jump through the pirouettes. Again, it's very much knocking on the door of a new leading score. Just a little hiccup right at the very end in the passage, but a very solid finish to what has been a very strong performance for Raphael Yates there for Germany with Great Escape Camelot. Very happy jockey, very happy horse. Just got a little bit hurried in one or two places, but he has a lovely way of riding, doesn't he? Very calm, very gentle, very relaxed. There's your scores at E, 72,283. At H, 73,152. At C, it is 72,391. At M, 70.870, and at B, 73.261. So 72.391% is a new leading score. And Germany now 1-2-3. Raphael Yates, Great Escape Camelot have moved into the lead ahead of Korean Schultz and Tarantino. And Helen Lannenhannenberg and Facilone FRH currently in third. Belgium go next. Second of their riders. And up into the world's top 30 for Larissa Polilis. Riding the beautiful Flambeau. This gelding by Ampere. A ride at the Olympics this summer. Also, there was a rider, she qualified, to remind you, for Riyadh, but that she took first at Valentin. She's got 2 top line horses. This has been the championship ride, also in Riesenbeck at the Europeans. And she took first at Valentin to the Worlds the year before that. $14 now, this gelding, as I say, by Ampere. Combination competed in Lyon. She scored 73.913 in the Grand Prix test there. And finished in 4th, and then went on to finish in 7th in the freestyle. Been a quite excellent start for these two. Personal best in a Grand Prix test is 73.913. As you can see, they've been trending awfully close to that. Just a little bit more collection in that collected walk. Just wants the transitions to be a little bit more fluent coming through. A little bit of tension crept in at the end of the passage. Needs a little bit more through the back, more ground cover in the extended canter. Losing the straightness a little bit through the one-time changes. Just needs to keep the horse moving that little bit more forward. It just looks a little bit insecure at points. Still a tremendously strong performance. Certainly not too far away from that personal best score of 73.913 in a Grand Prix that they picked up in Lyon last time out. Flambeau is a horse that just continues to improve. Finish will push the score as well. Whether it can quite meet the mark from Lyon, it won't be far. Well done, Larissa Polilis, and well done, Flambeau. That wonderful ride of hers that has got such presence in the arena. And there is the scores. Ooh, they got close. 73.696, 75, 73.696, 72.609, and 73.587. So there's your total, 73.718. The lead has changed hands again, and that's literally 0.2% off being another personal best in the Grand Prix for the two of them. I mean, as I say, their marks in the Grand Prix tests have just been getting stronger and stronger, and the consistency is there. So, really well done today. What a powerful horse, and what talent as well. Beautiful as well in the Piaf. So a very nice test from a very strong combination. 3 to go, and they all ride for Germany. This crowd have been looking forward to this moment since she decided which way round the horses were going to compete this winter, but it was Wendy that was saved for the home fans in Stuttgart. Isabelle Vert is next with her Olympic ride, Wendy de Fontaine. Final moments of preparation underway before she comes down the centre line. Individual silver at the Olympics this summer, alongside the team gold medal winning performance for Germany. Phenomenal rider, currently number 1 on the rankings. Who here in Stuttgart is competing in her 145th World Cup test. She's competed in over 70 championships after that performance, 70 championship tests after that performance in the summer. This 10-year-old mare by Frizzantino out of a blue horse soprano mare. This combination that only came together at the beginning of this year. And this is the first time that this horse and rider combination, first time we've seen Wendy since the medal ceremony in Paris. And it's certainly been worth the wait, because this is a tremendously strong start, as you would expect. Hope I didn't speak too soon. Just lost the rhythm a little bit there in the rain back. Bringing elegance to life. There is just those tiny moments of tension that creep in. But you can also see the difference in the quality of the Piaf and the Passage. The best these two have scored in a Grand Prix test was 79.363. They are getting closer. Just was moving a little bit forward at the end of that last Passage movement. Still perhaps could take even more risk through that extended canter. Nice and fluent through the hard passes and kept the horse nice and relaxed. To keep the activity through the pirouettes. Getting over 78% as she comes into this final line. The passage is very, very good. As is the PF. I don't know how you do better than that. There are only so many superlatives that you can use to describe a rider, but I feel the noise in this arena is all the words you need. Isabelle Vert, Wendy de Fontaine. Whether that will get close to being a combination best performance with the way it was trending. Whether it can quite do that, I don't know. We'll see in a moment, but what a partnership, and great to see them choosing Stuttgart to come back into the arena after the Paris success. And look at that. She's only 0.1 away from a combination best performance. She's jumped straight into the lead. 79.891, 78.261, 76.739, 80% and 81.96. So her final score, 79.217%. It is literally 0.1% away from their best score together. And of course, we should remember Isabelle and Espiquant has won the leg in Lyon. So she's certainly going to be pushing hard to get to the finals in Basel. What a wonderful test to watch that was. And I mean, that final PF, I don't know how you see better. We're not done though. That's what I love about this sport. You think you've seen a highlight, but then someone else comes in and amazes you. Bianca Nurag Olomrock, Florine OLD goes next. First of these final two combinations, both for Germany. Riding this 12-year-old mare. Of course, very successful again in the youth categories, medaling. She has come through the ranks, up now established at senior level. This horse as well took her to the top 4 in Herning this season in the opening leg of the World Cup season. Also scored 72.761 in the Grand Prix there in middle of October. By Foundation, out of a Lorries Crusader mare. Again, a very good, strong start for these two. Nicely done through the half passes. bit more over track through the extended walk. Allow the horse just to stretch slightly more down. Using a little bit of that engagement, needing to bring just a bit more activity in the PF and passage. Just needing again to take a little bit more risk to get those slightly higher marks. Very solid, very correct. Very good in everything they're doing though. Very nice pirouette. Good change. Hurrying a little bit there in the trot work. Again, I'd like to just see a little bit more energy in the PF and the passage just to pick up those marks. But still, well done, Bianca and Florine OLD. Tremendous applause for what was a very well-ridden test here in the Grand Prix. Only little moments really coming in the rain back. And then that Piaf in the middle of the test. And there's your score. It goes into the top three: 72.174, 72.5, 72.717, 73.804, 75.217. So an applause for 73.283% in the the Grand Prix in a combination that gave us a huge amount to like, really. Very good connection and contact. Just needs to bring a little bit more activity and engagement from behind at places, and I think that'll push the marks even higher. So that is into third behind second place of Larissa Polilis, and of course our leader by some way, Isabel Vert and Wendy de Fontaine, which means there is but one more left to go. And here she comes. We saw her over the years in the world of eventing, winning gold after gold. Of course, she is also the most spectacularly talented dressage rider as well. To be ranked inside the top 50 in both eventing and dressage world rankings says a lot for this lady's unbelievable equestrian skill. A true horse lady. Here is Isabel Wert's perhaps biggest competitor today. Maybe, we will see. First class 92 is Ingrid Klimke's ride. Of course, she was part of the dressage team that took the bronze medal in Herning. That was with the wonderful Franciscus. As an event rider, she has multiple golds and titles to her name. First class, this 12-year-old mare competed with it in Herning. Will need a sizable step up to get to Isabel's score today, but they've had that little bit of time. We'll see. So she started riding last summer. And last year she competed in Neumünster on the World Cup season. Wanting a little bit more freedom through the shoulder in the extended walk. Lost the rhythm a little bit coming through that transition. change behind in the extended canter and a little bit late through the change that followed as well. That tension just crept in, and unfortunately you can already see it's had quite an impact on their score. Pirouette to the right, certainly an improvement, I think, overall on the 1-2 to the left. Needs to keep that activity, that lift in the piaffe, in the final passage. As she comes to the finish. Certainly will score over 70. But that leading score will not be challenged today. Inga Klimke here with Hertz Class 92. Hugely popular, as ever, giving a wonderful ride to a horse that has a really light touch, the way that it so fluently and gracefully moves around the arena. This class looking very chilled as she leaves the arena. First and ball, that 12-year-old mare. Smile on Ingrid's face. So it's all over to the judges for one final score. Here it is at E 70.652, at 8 72.065, at C 70.978, at M 70.217, at B 70.543. Into the top six, 70.891. The score for Inga Klimke and First Class. Germany, in fact, picking up 6 of the top 7 placings in this class, with just Belgium finishing to break that run in second place. But lovely test to wrap it up, but there will be more, I'm sure, from those two as the combination just continue to build and build. But what a day, what a warm-up in so many respects for the big class tomorrow. What a wonderful moment to have been able to see Isabel and Wendy back in action after Paris, and to come out on top here today with that fabulous victory. There you have it, 79.217%. Larissa Polilis there for Belgium on the impressive Flambeau, 73.718. And Bianca, well done to her, Bianca Nova-Gollenbreck. And Florine OLD, 73.282%. It has certainly been a exciting day of dressage sport, and it just is a sort of appetite teaser for tomorrow's freestyle, the big event. So in a moment, of course, we'll turn to the presentation of awards, as we'll get a chance to see those, welcoming back our prize winners, and of course then the awards being given out, and it'll be our winner Isabelle Verth that will stand between those famous FEI World Cup blocks. We'll take a moment and then we'll join you for the presentation of awards. Preparations underway for the prize-giving ceremony here in Stuttgart for the German Masters, this FEI Dressage World Cup, the Grand Prix test, the qualifier for the freestyle tomorrow, which will be the third leg of the Western European League for 2024-2025, the pathway to Basel, the route to Basel's World Cup final in April. And of course, all three World Cup disciplines take place here. It's one of the very special events of the season to see all three on the same bill, and we'll enjoy that. We're driving a little later today, and of course the Dressage Freestyle, that is the headline event for us tomorrow in terms of competition here in Stuttgart, and that, whereas you've all got up bright and early for this one, you can have a line tomorrow. The freestyle getting underway at 5 o'clock local time, Central European time here in Germany for that FEI Dressage World Cup Grand Prix freestyle. The spotlight is very much focused as our prize winners are prepared. Isabelle Verth, Larissa Polilis, Bianca Noreg, Ellenbrock, the 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Rafael Netz, Corina Schultz, and Ingrid Klimke fulfilling the top 6 placings here. A lot of happy smiles. As early as it is, there's still plenty of people here. Last year, and I'm sure again this year, over 50,000 people make their way through the doors of the Hans Martin Scheler Hall to come and enjoy the Stuttgart German Masters, which is celebrating its 38th year in 2024, or 38th edition, I should say. Of course, there were 2 years it didn't take place thanks to COVID, but 38th edition. There's our presentation party lined up and ready to step forward. I think we're set to welcome back our prize winners. In 8th place, Bora Carcosa and Frizzantino FRH, the 9-year-old, and Bora for Spain, 69.544% the score here today. Exciting horse already, been to the Olympics with that this summer. Turning on a little bit of showboating over there. Helen Lannan-Hannenberg and Facilone FRH, a score of 69.761 for the superbly talented rider from Germany. Another horse that's certainly looking like getting ready to push her back towards teams as well. She knows what it's like to win here. Inga Klimke. And this year bringing first class 92 to Stuttgart for the first time. Starting in the Grand Prix, 70.891. The lady that tops the Western European League as we arrived here, Karina Schultz, Germany, with Tarantino 5, 71.369%. And this young man just continues to impress. Germany's Raphael Nietz. Great Escape Camelot. 72.391%. Eighth through to fourth in this FEI Grand Prix. And as he leaves, we'll get ready to welcome in our top three. Well deserving of their moment in the spotlight. The moment to wait while the top three are gathered. Here they come, and led in by your winner, Isabelle Ver and Wendy de Fontaine. What a combination. What a season, what a year it has been since these two came together. Second place to Belgium's Larissa Polilis with Flambeau. And Bianca Nova-Gollenbrock there with a Florine OLD for Germany in third. But it's been a quite brilliant performance. Wendy enjoying that moment in the spotlight. Wendy de Fontaine, the 10-year-old mare, that has bonded so quickly and so well, and Isabelle certainly looking favourite going into the freestyle tomorrow to make it back-to-back wins as we play the anthem for Germany. tremendous athlete she is. What a wonderful athlete Wendy is. Well, congratulations time. It's a very happy moment. Just look at that there. If I just scratch you here, you'll like that and you'll stay nice and calm. And look, she knows exactly where Wendy's soft spot is, and just making sure she stays really chilled. Well done, Larissa. Quite brilliant test. A combination that just keep improving. Looking forward to seeing Belgium's Larissa Police and Flambeau in the freestyle tomorrow. She's amazing jockey for Belgium. A big smile. And Bianca Novella-Golombrok and the beautiful Florine OLD finishing in third. Comb as well. What a great Grand Prix, what a freestyle we've got set up. I mean, second down to sixth was exceptionally close. But when these two graced us with their presence, well, they were in a class of their own. Thank you for joining us on FEI TV. I'll leave you with the lap of honour and look forward to catching up with the freestyle tomorrow and more to come, of course, from Stuttgart. Well done again, though, today to your Grand Prix winner, to Isabelle Vert and Wendy de Fontaine.